Hey guys, it is Saturday here on Pagan Perspective. I'm your Saturday host Brendan, and this week we are talking about pagan event and meetups and pride events. So the question this week comes from Jenni, and their question is about wondering how what our experiences were like with different pagan event meetups or gatherings, and whether it's we've gone to local moots or meetups or gatherings or pride events. How do we find out about them? Did we enjoy them, and how do they differ from each other? And okay, so I've just come back from my tradition's annual Beltane Pray that we perform through Brisbane City. So I'm slightly a bit sunburnt and exhausted, and I've taken a few photos which I will try to tag in the end of this video so you'll get to see. But I'm a facilitator of pagan events within my community and have been running them for almost a decade, I think now. But when I first started, I looked on things like Meetup and Witchfox, and for us here in Australia we have something called the Pagan Pan, which is the Pagan Awareness Network, and they tend to advertise local events in local states and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of cross-pollination. They also create a publication called The Small Tapestry, which people and events can advertise through there. So for me, where I live in Brisbane currently, there's a full moon event that I run. There is, on the Gold Coast, Oakside Grove, part of the Wildwood tradition, runs full moon events. There's a few covens around the place that do full and dark moon events. There's a component to Southeast Queensland Reclaiming, which we help facilitate Cloudcatcher Witch Camp, which is our part of the reclaiming community here in Southeast Queensland. And there's often paths, classes, stuff being run through Reclaiming itself. In my branch of Wildwood, there's often teachers and workshops that happen with our local community, really helping and supporting each other. So there's that kind of aspect. And then the way I find out about current things is either there's a few stores around, especially like for us in West End, there's Eclectica and Crystal Earth, which are run by two fabulous pagan witches that keep their finger on the pulse for most events. So if anyone comes in, they can tend to send people in the right direction to find where they need to be going. And I know that there's still some places that will use Witchfox for meetups, and then there's also, of course, Meetups, which has been mentioned multiple times this week. Speaking about experience with events, like, there's a plethora of different events I've been to like things from like Hellenic Reconstructionism to reclaiming witch camps to Wildwood gatherings to ritual experience weekends to the Pan full moon circles to any number of assortments. And each event is different and unique and has its own characteristics and personality. And even events within the same branch or tradition can often change depending on facilitators, event coordinators, locations, time of the year, all that sort of stuff, and the people that attend as well. I think other recommendations I could say, look out for stuff on Facebook in your local area. You can often find local communities or groups that are facilitating in there. The other thing is, if you're not seeing any events in your area, maybe it's something to put out there and start creating or facilitating something. It might just be as simple as finding a local park and putting out there that you'll do a full moon meditation or something like that, and that can often draw in people and attract people. What else? I think just classes and all that sort of stuff is run as well, so a lot of stores will help facilitate classes. I know at Eclectica there's often tarot and divination classes that are run there. There's within Reclaiming we're often teaching the core classes, so like Elements of Magic, Iron Pentacle, Pearl Pentacle, Rites of Passage and Social Permaculture. Those classes tend to run within community and are advertised through the local stores and through Facebook and through, I'm not sure if it's run through Meetup at all, but it might be on like, I know it's definitely on the Pagan Awareness Network and all that sort of stuff. So in like Australia, there's kind of that connection there. And there's also a lot of word of mouth for events. So a lot of traditions and covens and working groups might not be open door, so they don't like to publicly advertise things, but if you know someone that's part of that working group, often personal invitations can be something that happens as well. Otherwise, just, yeah, check out like weird kooky places, like often bookshops, cafes, any like new age or spiritual sort of places will often have flyers, adverts, all that sort of stuff out. Any like con events, so whether it be like, I know in the US they have PantheaCon, here we have Mind Body Spirit, which is like kind of a new agey healing event sort of thing, but you can meet up with authors and writers that may be in particular traditions and faiths that work with what you're working with and can link you up to local events. But yeah, just Google can be your good friend, and like type in the right keywords and you can often find things that will show up. But I think that is it for me this week. I'm going to have a nap and recover before I go out and party this evening. But for everyone in the Southern Hemisphere, I hope you have a glorious, lovely Beltane, and to those in the Northern Hemisphere, a wonderful and memory-filled Samhain. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks' time after we have Subs Week next week. And I will post the couple of photos I have, which I took today, which were of everyone dancing the bell pole before and after. So when all the red and white ribbons were stretched out to when afterwards when everything was woven in and the magic was sealed. But for now, much love and blessings, and I will see you soon. Mwah.